pleased and I'm delighted to say today we are joined for Scuzz Week's Avenged Sevenfold by Matt and Zachy. How's it going?
Great.
Really good.
So we open this interview the same way each time. Who were the first artists that made you want to be in a band?
For me, Guns N' Roses.
Yeah. One of the finest frontmen ever as well, it has to be said.
My dad got me Appetite for Destruction when it came out, and I don't know if he's a good parent or a bad parent for that.
Total badass.
Yeah, probably for me, Black Sabbath. Same reason. My parents used to go to Black Sabbath concerts, and I grew up around it, and I was like, I can do that.
And so I guess we'll pick things up sounding the seventh trumpet first. It seems, retrospectively, it seems mental, but to imagine you as part of the hardcore scene, were you part of that whole, bleeding through, I guess, Atreyu at the time as well in California? Was that a scene that you were part of or comfortable being part of?
I think musically we weren't comfortable being part of it, but definitely those are all our friends. The 18 Visions, the Bleeding Throughs, the Atreyus, there were so many bands, but that was our scene. So the scene was, if you wanted to play shows, you played shows with hardcore bands, because there was the Showcase Theater, Chain Reaction, everyone was doing shows at, little places like that, and there wasn't much of a scene outside of that hardcore scene for us. But musically, we always tended to be a little more punk rock and a little more metal and not as much full-on hardcore. So musically, we always saw ourselves as a little different.
It's not just a beat-down heavy record as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. There's really cheesy singing parts.
Did you always see Sevenfold as a band that would outgrow that thing as well? About that particular scene.
I think we thought when we made the first album, we thought that we already were outgrowing it by doing songs like "Warmness on the Soul,"
right?
But obviously we're young and extremely naive, but we really thought that was the next evolution of heavy metal, and we're taking it in a new direction. And I knew early on that we were going to outgrow it. Maybe not at that point, because we were still pretty young and loved stuff a little too fast and a little too heavy. But it was a perfect place, right time, it's fun.
We'd outgrown it in our minds, but we were the smallest band in the scene. Exactly. We were still opening, first to 5, and we'd have 10 friends come and dance and hang out, but we always thought, hey, this is going to be big someday.
Amazing. I remember interviewing you for Metal Hammer on the phone on Waking the Fallen, and kind of going from where we were just saying, and a quote that you said always stayed with me, where you were like, hardcore bands are bands that want to be metal bands that can't play well enough. Was what you said at the time.
Oh, what a jerk!
Was that how you felt the evolution went from sounding the seventh trumpet to Waking the Fallen?
A little bit, only in the sense that was maybe our case, but it wasn't necessarily everyone's case. There's obviously a lot of hardcore bands that I love and respect that.
I'm not throwing you in at the deep end.
But it's true. There was, for us, we loved bands like Pantera, but there's no way we could play at that level at that point. So we were doing much more simple breakdowns and stuff, because it gave us the feeling of a Pantera or a heavy band, and we were calling it hardcore, but we couldn't even touch Dime or Iomi. We couldn't, we're kids. And so for us, it was we want to be as good as Pantera, but we can't play that good. So
yeah, it's true.
Did Waking the Fallen feel special when you were recording it? Because I remember at the time it was basically that summer. It was Waking the Fallen and Through the Ashes of Empires by Machine Head that just totally owned my iPod. Did it feel? Did it feel special at the time?
To me, it absolutely did. I remember before it actually came out, I just had my copy, and I went out and bought an actual stereo system and put it in my parents' house where I lived at the time, and I listened to it, and I was like, we're really onto something. There's something more to what we're doing than just the hardcore scene, the other bands that we're growing up around and stuff. Mainly because, in my personal opinion, he started incorporated singing. And before the band ever started, we'd been friends for a long time, and he was in a separate band throughout high school, and he always had the best voice. He was the kid in high school that could sing, that actually sounded like a singer and actually sounded like a grown-up. And so it was wow, he's singing now. It's not just screaming. And we had a lot of melodic parts, and bringing in, Sin, the guitar parts became way more intricate than the stuff that I was capable of playing. And I was happy about it. I was stoked. He'd teach me how to play it, so it was good on my end. I'd learn how to play it. And
wasn't Sinister wasn't he teaching in a college at that time? Teaching guitar.
He was going to MI, and he was studying jazz.
Yeah, that was it.
He wanted to be a studio musician. That was like his to write original songs and to play in an original band wasn't even like in his mind. He didn't even think it was possible, even though he was friends with all of us and friends with the Rev. But he knew his playing ability was way above mine and Zach's.
Did he take much convincing then with that? Bearing
no, because he heard sounding the seventh trumpet and he really liked the songs. So he said he wanted to play with us. And he was already best friends with Jimmy, and we were all friends. So he's like, well, can I play? And we were at an AFI show in San Diego, I remember, and I was like, dude, we should add another guitar player. It'd be kind of cool. And then we're like, yeah, let's do it. And then we were all excited. And we're like, we're five band members now, And
killer.
It was weird, but then we added Sin to the group, and then all of a sudden we're like, dude, now we have to do solos everywhere because he's solo.
Yeah, that's what he does.
Yeah. You just solo, bro. So.
Solos and dueling guitars. It was never the same from that point on.
And something that really stood out when Waking the Fallen dropped is that you seem to have more than just like the songs. It felt like a full package, like the photos and the kind of gothy overtones that were like present on Waking the Fallen, especially like on I Won't See You Tonight Part 1.
Yeah.
Was that a conscious effort to put something together that was more than just, hey, here's a band that plays songs?
Absolutely, and that was like kind of a reflection of the hardcore scene. Is that they were very you couldn't do production, you couldn't have fake names, you couldn't wear clothes, you had to wear army shorts and jerseys. And to us, we were just like no. Like our favorite bands put on huge shows, like outside of the hardcore scene. We appreciate the hardcore scene and we want to be a part of it, but we want to still be theatrical. So we started rebelling in a big way, almost like a little kid would rebel against his parents. Like. We're going to use fog machines. We're going to have an image. We're going to do all these things. And we did it mostly to kind of weed out the people that just wanted to judge us on our image. So it was just more to piss people off. So
rebellion starting as you mean to go on.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, vocal worries. We had a similar chat with Matt from Bullet for My Valentine recently. Can you explain what went on with you losing your voice after Waking the Fallen and how it affected the dynamic within the band?
Yes, and as I explain it, no matter how much I say it on TV, kids will still say, oh, he can't scream or he heard his voice, but I'll explain it for the record.
Yes, that's what we like.
For the record, we just got off Warped Tour, and the reality is when you're screaming every night and you're still trying to sing high notes, your chords get thick every day, right? They're swollen. And anyone that knows anything about vocal cords, which I don't expect anyone to know anything about them, but as soon as they get thick, the vibrations can't happen in the same way, so you lose your high notes. And that wasn't acceptable to me because I was going on stage every day at Warped Tour and I wanted to be able to sing the parts. I didn't want to just have my voice blown out. And once it's blown out and you're on tour, you're out there and it's not coming back. Like, you got to take time off to get it back. So the reality was my voice that hurt? I don't know. But I knew that I couldn't sing the high notes anymore, so I went and saw a vocal specialist, and he said, listen, you're not going to be able to talk in quite a few years because you're just putting so much pressure on these chords. And there was a blood vessel that had popped, and he said, that blood vessel is popping over and over in your chords. It's not going to kill you, but what if we removed it? And so he had a new technology, and he's done everyone from, helping Julie Andrews get her voice back to Steven Tyler to Jagger. He's done all these guys.
Right.
So I trusted him, and we went in there and basically took out the blood vessel that was continuing to rupture. And after that, I started training, and I started trying to really learn how to use my voice and scream properly and sing properly. But at that point, we didn't really have interest in screaming anymore. It was just kind of something that everyone was doing. Every Warped Tour band was throwing a couple screams in there. It didn't matter if you were heavy or if you were punk. It was like the thing to do was to scream over stuff. And we're like, yeah, our favorite bands, they really do sing. As much as you look at Pantera, Phil's singing.
Yeah, totally.
And, Axl's singing, and Bruce is singing, and Hetfield's singing. And it was like, why are we screaming over all these parts that we can make a cool melody for? So it was a combination of the voice troubles with wanting to focus on being a band that brought back a little bit more of a classic metal feel. And so if I want to scream now, I can do it and still sing my high notes. But it's just something that we choose not to do, but the voice is A-okay.
So, do you think that City of Evil, like, kind of, and the feel on that record and the changes that happened due to your voice and making the conscious decision?
Half of interview with Matt and Zachy from Avenged Sevenfold. That is M Shadows and Z Vengeance, aka Matthew Charles Sanders and Zachary. Don't know his surname. Anyway, up next for DJ CJ, if he's still in the chat, in the next few minutes or so, I'll be having Dear God, 48 seconds of it. No, it is 6 minutes 39 seconds of Dear God. But before that, I am going to play you Give Me Everything Screamo version by Eyes on the Skyline.
Us not working hard, yeah right, picture that with a Kodak, better yet.